Hello everyone, you're welcome to Delaroy Studios. I'll be taking you through on how to develop an image gallery, in an Android application. If you can remember vividly, we are acclimatized with the use of the Volley, but now we'll be looking at Glide. Glide is a new image called library, smoothlessly with Android application. So I will quickly do a sort of recap, a sort of like an explanation of what is Glide and do a sort of comparison between Glide and Volley. Loading an image from internet is pretty easier using Volley library, but there is a much better solution than Volley, which is Glide. Glide image library. When compared to Volley, Glide wins in a lot of scenarios, in terms of performance and usability. We have different advantages of Glide, which surpasses Volley, which supports fetching, decoding, and displaying videos. You can display video, you can display GIF animation apart from the normal PNG and JPEG. The placeholder can be added before loading the image. The placeholder can actually be added like sort of caption and sort of it loads thumbnails, and blur them at first when it's being loaded, and the resolution comes to focus, afterwards, just like in WhatsApp or Facebook. Cross-fading effects between the media, is being supported. It supports image arbitrary transformations, like loading image in circular shape or any other shape. There's better memory and disk caching mechanisms. It works well with both Volley and OKHTTP libraries and other type of image load library. Without much ado, let me go straight to the application where we're going to be developing an image gallery, using the Glide functionality, the Glide image library. Okay, first of all, we'll be using the Android Studio as our development environment. I'll take you to the build.gradle, where we're gonna be dependencies that were used in the course of the application, which are very, very important. Look at the session called dependencies. This particular session, okay. We have the compiles library calls, calling the com.android support app compiled version 7. We have the support design, 23.21 version. We have a higher version apart from this. We have the support version 4. We also have the recycler view, version 7. That takes me to what is a recycler view. Now, a recycler view is a more advanced and more flexible version of the list view. When we are using activity, but now we're using the app comparts. So most times the list view has been deprecated, and we now talk about the recycler view. The new composition is a big step because the list view is one of the most used UI widgets. Just like the recycler view works in power with the card view widget. So we have a smoothless UI. These are coupled into the material designs from Google. All right, we're also going to be calling the Volley library, the 1.0.1, and also the Glide functionality. This aspect is very, very important. Okay, the GitHub BombTech. Glide is from BombTech 3.7.0. That is the libraries we'll be calling. These are placed in the dependencies. Very, very important. Okay, let me take you through the layout of the application, whereby we'll be talking about the rest, the layout. We have the activity main, which is the first UI of the application. It's actually having the first tag as the support design widget coordinator layout. There's a coordinator layout. I want you to get acclimatized to the new UI of Android. Okay, it's a layout width and height of match parents. It fits systems Windows, which is true, and the context is calling the activity main activity class Java class. Okay, we have the design widget app bar layout over here. Okay, the layout width and height is also wrapping. There is matching parent and wrap content respectively, and also calling the theme from the style folder, the app theme app bar overlay. Okay, we have the Android support version 7 widget toolbar as a child tag under the design widget app bar layout. Okay, we assign an ID of toolbar and also the width, the layout width and height match parent, and the height is calling the attributes, from the action bar size, while the background is also calling from the color primary. We have a pop-up theme which is calling from the star, the app theme pop-up overlay. Okay, we have a closing support design widget app bar layout. All right, we're going to include the content main in this layout, okay, which is the content main XML. We can do an include just like the way you do an include in PHP, but this is XML and this is Android development. Okay, you are hereby including a XML, into another XML, just without repeating yourself. You don't have to repeat the full bunch of code from a layout. Just with the include, you get the XML incorporated into each other. All right, we have the closing widget coordinator tag. I'll be talking about the same content main XML that was included in the activity main. This is a relative layout with a layout width and height of matching parent. Okay, the layout behavior, you have to know the kind of behavior the layout has, which is calling from design widget app bar layout. These are default layouts. We have the context, calling from the main activity, and also we're going to show in calling the layout and also the activity main. All right, that's fine. Now, very important, this is the content we need to talk about, which is the recycler view. Okay, the recycler view tag. This is what is going to actually be populating the images, in a list view format, but which is going to be more silker, in a card layout format. No, not in a card layout, definitely. But it's going to be in a list view, which is going to be side by side instead of the grid format we used then, in the activities previous activity where you use the grid. But now the recycler view is going to bring out the layout more smoother and better. All right, let me leave other classes. I will want you to lay your hands on them. We have the fragment image slider, which is for the when we swipe, because we're going to populate a list view of and images which are going to sit side by side. They are not going to be actually listed unlike the list view we had. This is a recycler view which is going to come out in a grid format, and we're going to have a bigger image. While you click on the thumbnails, it takes you to a larger image of the thumbnail. Okay, that's where the fragment image slider comes in, where we talk about the support version 4 view page. Okay, that's a text view which is going to hold we give it an ID called LBL underscore count. The width and height is wrap content, and align parent up through text color from the color which is white, or the text style is bold. We have the linear layout tag right inside this the parent tag. Okay, there's also matching parent on parent bottom true. Okay, now the text view is calling from the title. All right, if you can notice, this is the layout by the side. All right, that's the text view. We have two text views, one holding on to the title, others to the date, because we're talking about date and title here. All right, that's fine. Okay, we have the gallery thumbnail. This is going to actually hold the thumbnails, of each image, on the recycler view. All right, this is calling the com.Delaroy Studios glide helper square layout. It's in a square layout. Actually constructed that to be in a square layout. That's the essence of glide. Glide can actually populate images in circles, can populate images in square, different shapes, kite. Okay, we have the image view actually, which is the thumbnails. All right, and we tend to crop it, to scale, so that it's going to fit side by side. Okay, we close it with the closing square layout, which is calling from the helper directory in our Java class. All right, we have the image full screen. Yeah, after we might have clicked the thumbnails, it takes us to the full screen of the image. Okay, well, this is a relative layout and the image view to populate the image in question. All right, that's for the layout. Let's talk about our Java class, and I will be looking vividly only on the activity directory, which is the major Java classes here. You can lay your hands on other Java class, you know. All right, this is fine. This is the main activity where we have a lot of imports. You know, we imported version 4 app fragment transaction. We imported version 7 app compart activity, the widgets, the fourth item, and animate, or the grid layout manager, even the recycler view. We also imported Volley. We use Volley as well, incorporated with Glide. All right, with response, Volley error, and also the Volley JSON array request. This is the cause of focus, which is the Glide adapter, gallery adapter, the Glide app controller, and the Glide model image. Okay, we also imported the JSON array because we are going to be using a JSON file. I'll put you through that further. The JSON exception and the JSON object. Okay, that's fine. So let's quickly run down on the class. Okay, we have a main activity that extends app compart activity. That's fine. Different fields have been set. The string tag, calling on the main class, getting the simple method. We'll be talking about that beneath. Okay, this particular URL link, I really want you to get to understand this. This calling from the glide images.json. Okay, definitely there's a JSON and the server, and I'll tell you where it's been situated and how the JSON actually looks. Okay, I'll take you to my hosting platform. Okay, this is my domain, Delaroy Studios. Okay, that's fine. Fetching out the glide directory, the JSON folder, and also this is the glide images.json, which is on the server. And let me show you how the JSON file actually looks like. This is the JSON file where I specify the name of cities. We're talking about cities here. I talk about New York City, Paris, Beijing, Dubai, Lagos. You know, the cities where I actually get the pictures and I distinguish them into three: the small, the medium, and the large. Okay, we have the large one, which is for the full screen. We have the small one, which is for the thumbnail, and also the medium as well. So if you notice, the URL to each images are actually specified, you know, very, very well. I would like to copy one, and let's see. Okay, let me pick this. Let's see how the picture actually look like. Okay, open a new tab. Right. Oh, do you notice this? That's the picture of Paris, you know. No, this is New York. Sorry for that. There's New York. All right. This is a large picture of New York. And we have the thumbnail view, which is going to actually pick a smaller picture. So I've actually uploaded different categories of pictures, and I actually compress them, you know, for usability, so that it won't be heavy for download. And because this is an application that is going to actually be doing a lot of HTTP calls, and you know, too much work can be made. I can be put on the main thread. You know, just for us to lessen this out, I decided to compress them to a smaller memory so that it can load faster. Okay, these are pictures that actually, you know, I will actually tell you the dimension of pictures you need to use, and also you can copy this picture as well and get the dimension of picture that I used, because they are all the same. You know, actually use that I didn't change pictures or give it different dimension for different ones. For the large dimension, they're 500 by 319, and for the small one, it's like that 300 by 400 or so. All right, so you can actually lay your hands on that, play around with that. Let's get back to our application. Okay, that's fine. So that's where this is being generated. So we have the array list, which is a generic, images. We have a progress dialog that's first of all roll up while loading the application. We have the gallery adapter, giving it the IAM adapter, and also the recycler view. These are all private fields. Okay, we have the onCreate method, calling on the super onCreate, setting the layout to activity main, and also we have to cast on the toolbar to the ID of the toolbar, and we set the support action bar based on the toolbar parameters. Okay, now the recycler view also just like the way we did to the toolbar, and also the P dialog. We have to instantiate with a new progress dialog. This is this particular object we're talking about. Okay, the image is now with the new array list. All right, over here, and we have the M adapter with the new gallery adapter, getting the application context method, and also the images. All right, I think that's clear. Okay, let's see how we go about the recycler view. We set the layout manager with an object called mLayout Manager, and instantiate with the grid layout manager, getting the application context, and give it a 2 as an integer. Now in the recycler view, we have to set the layout manager based on the mLayout Manager object. We set the animator, we actually imported that earlier, and also instantiate the new default animator method. And we set our adapter based on the M adapter. Now we are going to add an item touch listener to our recycler view, so that for each click, not on click listener now, we have on add listener for ads, we have on click listener for button, and this is on item touch listener for recycler view. I hope you're understanding something, yeah? Okay, we have a new gallery adapter calling on the recycler touch listener. We get the application context, and also instantiate the new gallery adapter based on the click listener method. Okay, now what are we going to do with our click? What is the click actually all about? On click, we set the bundle, we put the serializable images, and also we put in the position of the image. Now we call on the fragment transaction, give it an object of ft. We get the support fragment manager method, and we begin the transaction. We show the dialog fragment. There's a show dialog fragment Java class. We instantiate it with a new fragment. Okay, and we call on the new instance of it. Okay, now the new fragment object, we set the argument, which is the bundle, and we also show the slideshow. That's fine. That's pretty fine. So on long click, it's actually just going to fetch images. That's on touch and on long touch of it. Okay, so now the fetch images, what are we going to fetch? This is where the JSON array request has been done. This method over here, this chunk of code here. Okay, now on fetch images, there is going to be, we're going to call on the P dialog called loading, outputting a message called downloaded JSON. Okay, now this is the JSON array request. We're going to instantiate with the JSON array request with the endpoint. Okay, now we're going to hide the P dialog, and we clear the images. This is a for loop. Okay, for integer I, which is the counter is 0. I is less than the response, calling on the length of the array. Okay, and we have to iterate by adding 1 to it. In this, we're going to do a try and catch method, where we're going to call on JSON object, getting the response, and also the image, instantiating with a new image method, with a new image class rather. So we're going to set the name to the value of the object of the image, and we're going to get the string name, which is the name of the image. Now we're going to get the URL. Okay, we're going to get the small, we're going to set the medium, we're going to set the large, and we're going to set the timestamp based on the JSON. Look at it, the small, the medium, the large, and the timestamp. Okay, that's fine. I think that's understandable. So we're going to catch for an exception. Probably if there's an error or something happened with the network, so it's going to pass a message gracefully to the screen. So let's quickly look at the slideshow fragment. Okay, this is actually for the slideshow after it might have loaded, and now you want to get the bigger view. Okay, the slideshow fragment extends dialog fragment. Okay, we have the fields also in private. We have the tag, the array list, the view pager, the my view page adapter, the text view, and the selected position. Okay, now we actually imported some stuff. The bump tech glide, the glide load engine. This is from the disk cache because it must have been cached, before you can even load the bigger one. We have the R, which you must not manually edit that. Okay, now let's move to the slideshow dialog fragment, which is we have a new instance of it. Okay, giving it an F. Okay, now we're returning F on create view layout inflator. Okay, we're going to pass 3 parameters: the inflator, the container, and the save instance state. Okay, the view class is being instantiated, giving it a view object. So we call on the inflate, whereby we call on the layout fragment image slider. We have that in our rest folder. Okay, now in the view pager, we're going to find the view pager ID, cast it to the view pager, the LB count, also the LB title and the LB date will be done the same way we did the view pager. Okay, now we call on the array, the images, which is the array list, passing on the image object as a generic. We get the arguments and we get the serializable images. Okay, that's fine. Now I want you to look at a method here, which is the set current item, the particular item being picked. This is where we call on the view pager. We set the current item based on the position, and also we display the meta info, the metadata of the image, the URL, the timestamp, the title. Okay, this is a page change listener, right? Where we're going to call on the view pager on page change listener, and we instantiate with a new keyword, and we have the on page selected, on page scrolled, when you select a page or when it's being scrolled, being swiped to the next page. Okay, we have a display meta info. This is passing the integer parameter of the position, which is in integers. So the LB count will set the text, the position +1 of the image based on the size. It's going to get a position. It's going to set the text of the name and also the timestamp. I told you about that earlier. The name, the timestamp, these are the metadata of the particular image. Okay, we have the onCreate method. We call it on the super create. I'm going to set the style based on the dialog fragment, the style number. Okay, this is the arc style, call it the theme. Okay, no title for this page view, which is going to come out in full screen. Okay, we have the adapter, which is the my view page adapter, which extends page adapter. We have the private layout inflator field. So we have a constructor, my view page adapter, which is empty. Okay, inside this class, that is a class. Okay, we're going to talk about the object instantiate item, where we pass in the container and the position, the layout inflator, the image view, and also we talk about glide here. Look at the way we call on glide. Glide gets the activity, it loads the image, which is the get the large method, get large. Okay, the thumbnail, from the thumbnail 0.5f, there's going to be a crossfade. Okay, it's going to check the disk cache strategy. Okay, and it's going to preview the image. Okay, that's fine. Let's get count, which is going to return the image's size, and also a boolean of its view from object. And finally there is a method called destroy item, which is going to actually call on a container, the position, and the object. Okay, that's fine. It's highly extensible. We also have other Java classes I won't be covering because of time and the length of the tutorial. I would like you to pick up this source code for my GitHub application, for my GitHub account rather. This is very, very, very good for you, and it's going to be useful for those that actually want to build a gallery, want to build an image files, in Android, and seamlessly you do that with Glide. I'll quickly launch this in my Android, in my Genymotion emulator. Sorry for that, and so that we can be able to visualize this and see what this application actually is. All right. Okay. Unloaded the application. Can you notice this? The Glide image display as the title of this application, and also there's a recycler view whereby we have this is just a list of pictures, but they are side by side. They are not the normal list view we used to know, looking like the grid layout. Okay, that's fine. All right, you can see the list of cities where I showed. Okay, let me pick on New York. Okay, that's the on item click listener on the particular picture. Can you notice this? That's for the biggest picture. This actually picks the larger picture from the XML. Okay, that's very, very important. Okay, let me show you how the XML is being constructed. Okay, I want to actually show something. Let's wait for it to load. All right, let's go back to our application. All right, let me swipe through. Okay, this is going to column Beijing. All right, there's a sort of blur before it now comes to focus. Do you notice that? Let's get to the fourth one. This is Dubai. Okay, 4 of 12. This is Lagos. Okay, gonna let this load up. No. Okay, this is Lagos. Okay, this is Johannesburg. Let's wait for Johannesburg to load up. Okay, Johannesburg is taking a while. Let's look at other ones. Okay, this is London. Right, I hope you understand this very well. Let me see, maybe. Okay, all right. Okay, I actually want to show you where the images sits in the images folder. If you notice, I have the large folder, the medium, the small, based on the links. Okay, image glide, images, small, and the pictures in PNG. You have to place it there. You have to place them appropriately. I created the large, the medium, the small folder. Let me click on the large folder. You get to see the list of these are the pictures of the cities I actually used: New York, Paris, Sao Paulo, Sydney. Likewise, for the medium, okay, that's very, very straightforward. If there's any question you need to ask based on this, you can drop a comment in my YouTube comment section, and I'll be glad to address them and fix them appropriately. Thank you very, very much, my good listener, for hanging out with me throughout the session of the Glide image gallery. Okay, it has been a long one, and I hope you understood one or two things